Welcome back to Just in Our Minds. Thanks for listening. Thanks for all the subscribes. So this here is one of my new friends. We got Drew McManus. Drew McManus. So he's a singer-songwriter and a martial artist. We're gonna get to know him today. So what are we out here specifically for in Utah right now?
I'm just out here promoting. I'm doing the 10-year anniversary tour of my very first record. Coming up here, tour starts in April, and I'll be playing here. But yeah, we're just getting content and promoting that tour.
Awesome. Yeah. What do you think about this winter right now, man?
So in Montana, we've had the weirdest winter ever. So it snowed the second week of December, and then it's been 50 to 70 degrees every single day since.
It's wild. And then
it's pretty creepy because the implications of what summer are going to be like is pretty scary.
Santa Barbara County right now has had more snow than I've seen in Utah. Like, it's blew my mind. Santa Barbara County, that's where I'm from originally.
Yeah. But, and then it snowed in Charlotte in Florida.
Yeah.
It's 70 degrees. A friend of mine was in Florida, and it was snowing there, and it was 30 degrees warmer in Montana than it was in Florida.
And then if you follow longer cycles too, there was like a polar cycle that was probably the last time it was here was like 15, 16 years ago that were similar, but just try to understand a little bit of that more.
Yeah, try not to freak out. It's all fine. Probably.
So moving in to some of the origin stories, like for you as a person, like what got you into being a musician in the first place?
Oh man, I just always loved music. I think I just heard it differently than people. But my mom has a bunch of funny stories when I was young of like, me like in the back seat at like 4 years old, like singing with like,
right.
Like making face, like really in it,
Yeah. Did you have, with your mom, did you have specific types of music that you usually listen to?
So she always listened to super old country, 80s and 90s country.
Travis Tritt and all that.
Oh,
That was a good era.
It was
that and like outlaw country are definitely my favorites.
Yeah, no, that era of country was legendary. And then, found hip hop pretty young, and then when I started skateboarding, hip hop and punk rock, and once I found counterculture, I grew up in a really abusive and strict household, and for me, skateboarding was just what introduced me to counterculture. So like as soon as I found counterculture, I was just like, it kind of turned on this light of like, oh, I could be a graffiti artist, I could be a painter, I could be a musician,
That's what I ended up doing. Skateboarding and graffiti art.
Yeah, that's
mine. Was my tag I made was WCIP, We Come in Peace. It was always aliens.
Yeah. But it's, that counterculture piece, it kind of is like when you live in a super strict environment, it's kind of the first time where you're like, oh, you're meeting people. Like, what do you do? They're like, I'm a DJ. You're like, what the fuck is that?
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Des Moines.
Des Moines, Iowa?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know much about Des Moines. I've been out there 2 times. I went out there for the color run. It's very flat.
Very flat.
Yeah,
very flat. The neighborhood we grew up in kind of sucked. Like everyone fought. A lot of nefarious activities afoot.
Mm-hmm.
We lived right next to this high school called Hoover that was, just notorious bad shit going on. But me and my brother got fucked with a lot growing up. Like my dad was super abusive, and there was just kind of always violence and. I was just scared and
growing
shitty.
up around that, your brain starts wanting chaos, because that's where you feel comfortable. Like, I don't know if you grew up with self-sabotaging behavior or anything.
Yeah, I still struggle with them.
Yeah, me too. I was going to say, it's been 45 minutes since my last...
self-sabotage.
Yeah.
No, I think what it is for me that I've realized, like, I've been doing a lot of work on that recently of just how hard I am on myself. And then also, like, that I kind of been shooting from the hip. I didn't really have any mentors or, like, I've just been... figuring it out.
I noticed the pinky toe missing.
Yeah. So like for me, I eventually what happens is you're scared all of the time, and then you start being like, okay, well, if I was just talking about this, how I dealt with being scared was like, okay, well, I don't feel safe ever, so I'm gonna get dangerous to feel safer.
That's why I say it's that 4-year-old crying inside the body armor.
Yeah.
Have you ever read or watched or listened to the book called Iron John from Robert Bly? So he's a therapist, and he talks about like the wild man, and he lives at the bottom of the ocean. So it's an old story, talks about Iron John, or not in the bottom of the ocean, bottom of this lake. And it talks about the golden ball, and it talks about male initiation, what's missing. And I was very similar. Like, you have to keep building this exterior, and it's never big or tough enough.
Yeah, and I was really skinny too, like up until 2020.
Oh, really? I was
yeah,
like, dang, you're a big guy.
Oh, I competed at, like, when I was competing in jiu-jitsu, I competed at like 145.
What?
Yeah, I know, right?
I was like, is that kilos?
Yeah. So, I just kind of realized I had, like, not like a breakdown, but it just kind of hit me during an experience that I had, that I was like, I have put a lot of, well, my friend Brady, I'll give him the proper shout out. He's like, you've put a lot of effort into getting dangerous and not very much effort into feeling safe. Like, you did it. You're covered in tattoos. You got big muscles. You're a black belt. Super scary, dude.
It sounds like black belt in multiple.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, at what point, like, when are you going to quit with the Nate Diaz shit? When are you going to quit? Like, always looking, you don't have to be like that no more.
I never knew I had a tough guy bravado until I started hanging around, like, really nice, genuine individuals. And you know what I mean? Like,
totally,
and you're like,
yeah.
At first, when I moved out into Utah, I'm like, wow, everybody's so nice.
Yeah.
And like, when my friends used to visit, they're like, why do you guys out nice each other here? You know?
Yeah.
But it's that thing. It's like, I feel like you're surrounded by rough and rugged. And then it's like that. I don't know. People call it toxic masculinity, but you can call it whatever. It's just
I
like
think for me, I used to always want to, like, you're guilty until proven innocent.
Yep.
You're probably a threat or a liability until you show me otherwise.
Yep.
Where it's really like,
have to sit down and see all the exits, know when everybody's coming and going,
you
no one
got
behind
it, dude.
you.
You got me.
Yeah.
Dude.
No, I know how that goes.
Yeah, so it's like, I guess the thing I've been realizing is, like, how me and Warren were discussing it. Which is funny because my friend Brady was like, man, there's just this beautiful little kid in you. And he's like, Parker, my fiance, he's like, Parker gets to see him. I know him really well. Like, the rest of the world doesn't get to see him very much. Like, you should start letting that little kid out. Let him play. Let him walk around a little bit. Like, no one's going to mess with him, dude. And if he does, you're there too. The big, scary, tattooed guy, he's there too.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's been like a lot of my work. It's my big focus going into this year of, like, how can I be softer? Because no one's going to fuck with me. And if they do, like, we're good.
Yeah.
So it's like, I need to start living that safety. And, I've been doing that intentionally, kind of putting myself in, hanging out with people I've never met before, where I used to just straight up be like, absolutely not.
Right. And you're like, that's the guy, Sean. It's one of the fun things he talks about is, like, the portal. When you walk through a door, you just, like, see what happens. Because I've been similar, where you're like, go there, you're like, why? Like, I don't know. You could, with that bravado, it can create very interesting stories.
There's a lot of uncontrolled variables around strangers.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I'm like, I'll just be at my house with my girl. I know everybody, and all the doors lock. It's cool.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so you grew up in Iowa. How long did you live there? And, like, you said you were skating, you got into graffiti art. Was that all in Iowa, or was that impacted?
Well, kind of. So I was
states, countries.
Well, so I grew up in Des Moines. We moved there when I was like 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was 16, I moved to Chicago.
Okay, there it is.
Yep. So when I was in Chicago,
because I was like, you got a hip hop from Iowa? Like,
yeah, no,
like,
and we did, bro. My neighborhood we were
Yeah.
definitely the minority in my neighborhood.
Yeah, like, and that's why I was like, oh, it's possible.
Yeah, no, Des Moines. There's a lot of pockets in Des Moines that are that are very diverse.
No, I grew up that too. I was one of, like, I felt like a small hand of white kids at my school, so I totally get that.
You and me are very similar.
Yeah.
So, like, but when I moved to Chicago, I have this tag, and it's how I sign everything. Like, it shows when I'm autographing stuff that I still use my tag. But I just got into tagging trains, like, not doing cool pieces. I have a bunch of friends that do really cool shit, but I just got into tagging. But for me, it was like, I got into the jam band scene and, like, going to those kind of shows, and just anything counterculture, anything that was different. Like, even I worked at a tattoo shop, like, even just the culture of the tattoo and piercing community of, like, I just didn't want. I was talking about this last night with a friend of mine. Do you remember when they used to do, like, take your kid to work day? Did they ever do that when you were a kid?
Yeah.
So my stepdad, who was just a terrible human being, but he worked at a radio station, and I was like 8 or 9, and I loved music. So I was, like, so excited to go to work with him on the take your kid to work day, right? Mm-hmm. Well, he sold advertising. So what he did for the radio station was he sat in a cubicle and he cold called businesses and was like, hey, we're running a special on 20-second commercials, And I just remember that whole day of, like, looking around, like, even the water. I remember the bubble sound in the water cooler, but just, like, looking at everyone in ties in the cubicles, and everyone just kind of out of shape and pale and miserable. And it was just like, I want the opposite of this, you know, like if that means less security, less, you know, whatever. Like I just knew it was going to be music or a painter or a writer or like something. I was going to do something, not that.
That's what I relate it to. Like when I tried to live, because I grew up very blue collared and lots of hands-on jobs. And I was like, man, I tried really hard to be an inside dog, but I am an outside dog. Like I have to be outside.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm sitting over here, you know, like I don't know. I thought I was trying to be a labradoodle. Like I think sometimes blue collar feels like that especially for people that are used to chaos. Like that's why I think jiu-jitsu and MMA and stuff like that is. I was just talking this morning to some other coaches. I was like, "Can you go 4 days without working out?" I was like, "No." Like you have to have one rest day. So you have to be the outside dog. You have to get out past the leash.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Well, it's interesting because that too, like that piece has been so huge for me of like, you know, even when I started training, like I can't even, you know, when I got my black belt last summer, it's like customary at our gym when you get a black belt, you have to give a speech, you know, and I was like teary-eyed the whole time, but I was just like, I don't know. I literally can't believe I was living life without this before. Like I can't even, the person that I was before I started coming here, like I don't even know who that man is. I don't even know if I'd call him a man yet, you know, and it's just not just the jiu-jitsu, but the like lifting, the accountability for my body, the relationship I have with my body.
Self-love. It's
man.
that's hard.
I just started building myself. It's like, no, what do I want to look like? What do I want? Yeah. What do I want to be able to do with this body?
Who did I need as a kid? Like, create something like that and that's when you start developing the EQ too, right? Because you see the difference. Like Josh Berkman, that he was one of the first people to tell me that. He was like, there's a difference between a fighter and a martial artist. Like you're somewhere in between, but like this is going to be a lot safer of a route, you know?
Yeah. It's funny. We talk about that too. Like, you know, there's certain black belts at our gym that don't know a whole bunch of jiu-jitsu, but the jiu-jitsu they do know, they can do it on anyone.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I had to do this like whole crazy curriculum and write this whole thing. And my professor and best friend, Will, he's like, I want you to be the black belt that has an answer for every single question. So like, my technical requirements of you are much higher than the average person.
Old school black belt.
Yeah, he's like, I don't need you to be able to smash everyone in the room. I need you to be able to answer any question in the room.
Exactly. No, I love that. And it's great. And then be like, I love nowadays too, there's a lot of black belts and different people that if you have a high level wrestler, but they're not even a blue belt yet, they're like, hey, can you show me how to do this? Or show the class how to do this because you're proficient. I really love that because there's a lot of coaches that would just be them and only them. But now I feel like you see more and more of that opening up too, and I think that's really awesome.
It should be.
There's like the, you know, of course the tribalism with like the cross, like going training at other gyms and stuff like that. I
kind of like that.
Yeah, I like training. Do you like the tribalism part or
a little bit?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it depends. You got people getting ready for a fight camp or whatever. But.
Yeah, so I by nature, because of the neighborhood I grew up in, I think that's a thing where I'm like, no, it's us, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's our group, but it's just like within our city, and then same thing. Like I'll rep classic fight team forever, bro. You know, like that. Getting into Muay Thai and training under Tyler and getting, you know, the blessing of getting to be an affiliate of his and having the trust to be affiliated with his name is like such an honor to me, like that he sees that in me. So like, I guess I'm down. I'm all about the cross training and I train everywhere I go.
But the loyalty, that's one thing. That's different.
Yeah.
Like,
and also,
if you got to go learn a low kick from like senior someone down the road, or like an open mat, something like that. That's.
Well, and I had never really knew that. You know, in Billings, where I'm at, there's like 4 jiu-jitsu schools, but it's like there's really only one. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you want that real shit, you know where to go.
Yeah. I want that deli sandwich. I don't want Quiznos.
Yeah, and everybody knows that, and that's the reputation of our gym. Like, I go to this poke spot all of the time, and the guy that works there trains at one of the other gyms. I'm like, why do you train at Function instead of the Grindhouse? He's like, bro, I'm just trying to learn jiu-jitsu. I'm not. I'm like, well, we do that too. We got a bunch of guys that are just like hobbyists. He's like, yeah, but it's different.
It's different.
You know, I'm like, I love that. That's our rep on the streets, dude.
Yeah, 100%. But I love that too. Oh, I thought I was still wearing my sweatshirt. They get the reputation like that too. He's like, hey, they're hard rolls, but they ain't gonna hurt you.
Yeah, it's just they just take it seriously. The goal
Yeah.
is to be really good at whatever we're doing. Yeah, I also just think like, you know, when I went to Austin for the first time, I have a bunch of friends down there. That was one thing that blew me away. The cross training culture down there. Like these are all guys that have to end up competing against each other all the time, and they still all train together and roll together. Like no one's keeping secrets. With striking, it's a little different, right? Like
Oh yeah.
it's way different because if I see like your system, you know, it's like it's a little different. But yeah, it was so cool seeing like the guys from B Team train at 10th Planet, and then they'll go over and do gi stuff with Shanji, and yeah,
I think part of that too with B Team and all those the big names there, they all have worked, like they all either switch from gym and they create like the B Team. So I feel like that or
they were in a
their
culty
uncles,
gym.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like nowadays I think that's way better because we all know the culty gym. For the Gordon, even though he retired now, but it's been interesting.
And there's more stuff coming out every week about gyms we didn't know were culty.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But that's part of this machine out there.
Yeah.
Like it's great to be able to get all this information from social media, but then you get every little tidbit if you want it.
I know it. I don't think we're built for it.
No, though I was gonna say we're the culture of overstimulation.
Dude, this is a thing that's really interesting to me because I was getting, I wouldn't say depressed, but my anger levels were getting to a pretty unhealthy place. And I put this app on my phone called Screen Zen. Mm-hmm. So it lets me open Instagram 5 times a day for 5 minutes, which is more than enough to post content and then return back to it 4 times and respond to comments, right? More than enough time to have an active Instagram page. It's completely changed my life. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, like within a week of not seeing the chaos that's happening here and because what everyone thinks like the world used to be more peaceful. No, we just didn't. Dude, if someone gets kicked in the face in California, like we'll hear about it in 20 seconds.
I say the same thing.
So it's like the world's not any worse. It's probably better.
It's safer.
It's way safer. Yeah.
We just don't have exactly. You don't have a cameraman everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
Like
no, and when you talk about artists getting canceled, I was like, dude, the hair metal era wouldn't have even happened. No. Like, it would have got shut down so quickly.
There have been a lot less leather and leopard pants on those stages.
Yeah. But like within a few days, I was just noticing throughout my day, like, wow, I am substantially
then your brain starts
chiller.
producing like real dopamine. It's not those like quick dopamine hits you get, and then all that extra blue light. Yeah. The doom scrolling is such a real thing.
Especially your algorithm gets to know you, It knows I like seeing bullies get slept.
Yep.
So it's just like keep
and then for everything, the homies send you on reels and stuff.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Yeah. Between mine and then some of the groups I'm in, it's a very interesting algorithm.
Yeah. What was funny when I got the app too, I had to reach out to everyone's got that friend that sends them 8 reels a day. Mm-hmm. I was just like, hey, bro, you got to keep it to 1.
Yeah, 1. You get 1.
Because only one of my opens per day is for like looking at random stuff, and I only got 5 minutes, so I can't watch 5 reels.
Yeah, give me one.
Eat up all my time. Yeah. Pick your favorite at the end of the day.
He's gonna send them to someone else and then scroll over. Yeah. But at least you know you're looking.
Yeah.
But getting back to your childhood and growing up, and then you said you come from a rough background. What were some of your going back? We talked jiu-jitsu, but I'd like to know what were some of your earlier outlets that kind of like spawned into the jiu-jitsu and MMA. So you said skateboarding, graffiti. What ages were those? So you were in Chicago.
I started skating when I was in like 6th grade. Okay. I started skating really early, like before Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
The old school skateboarding, like in the 90s, like late 80s, early 90s, I feel like it's very similar to the no-gi jiu-jitsu culture. Yeah. You can definitely see that the essence is both there. You get the same archetypes between individuals and, kind of the stoic laid back.
Yeah, that's a cool line to draw.
Yeah, all similar music. Yep. All similar. So that's why I look at it as like, man, this is just like 90s skateboarding all over again.
Yeah, totally. And I was blessed, like when I was getting into it, it was pre Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Mm-hmm. So it was still a weird, it was still a subculture. Like it wasn't cool, like there was like of my school of, 3,000 kids that I got chartered to, like there was maybe 20 skaters, out of 3,000 kids.
It wasn't like there's skate parks and stuff. That's
exactly.
Do you see how many skate parks are here?
Yeah. That's everywhere now. Yeah, Des Moines has the biggest outdoor skate park in the country now.
Oh, really?
And we used to get kicked out of spots all day, every day.
Well, it's good for the kids now. Yeah. It's like, well, back in my day.
Yeah, back in my day, we used to get tickets about it.
Yeah. We didn't even have noses on our skateboards. We couldn't all it.
But yeah, I think that, and then, you know, I hated fighting growing up, dude. And my brother was like the man. Like, I remember, you know, I have some pretty rough core memories of us being victimized. And around probably 13, my brother just was like, no. So he started doing wild shit, you know, like hitting people with bats and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And like getting a reputation of like, not him, bro. Don't mess with
Yeah.
him. And then what was crazy is growing up like that is I was pretty chill, man. You know, like I would fight if I was in a situation where we had to, which I did quite a bit, but I was never like looking for it. My brother loved it. My brother loved it.
Yeah, mine too.
You know, and what was funny was like, I just wanted to be the dude that like played guitar and like slept with chicks, you know, like I didn't want to be a tough guy. I just wanted to be cool, you know, and like, but I would like go to parties and it would like get quiet because I was Aaron's brother. I'd be like, oh shit, Aaron's brother's here. I'm like, don't worry guys, he's not here. He's not with me. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, so it's like kind of weird growing up because that was kind of my identity in Des Moines was I was Aaron's little brother. And then he hurt a kid real bad. He hit a kid with a bat and, an Army recruiter, Sergeant Wyckoff, came to our house, and I'm like, oh, is the juvenile courts like sending you charges on kids? But this guy came to our house and was just like, hey, I know this judge, and I could get these charges dropped if Aaron will agree. This is like 2002. It's like Iraq war popping.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, you know, if he's willing to join the Army and volunteer for active duty immediately, like we can get these charges dropped. And Aaron was like, okay, like no brainer. So he went to war in the infantry, you know, was like a machine gunner on the Humvees. And I think all but 3 people in his original company died while he was there. You know, he's a kid, 18 years old. And then comes home and starts selling drugs. And I mean, like within a year, got a very, very serious prison sentence for beating up a kid who, in my opinion, deserved it. And so it was a lot. And when he went to prison, you know, the vibe from his friends were like, you should bounce, dude. You should get out of Des Moines. Which I had been kind of feeling for a while anyway. But with my brother not around and him, it was just a rough environment, dude. And the thought of being in Des Moines without my brother around me, you know, like there for safety was like, it seemed stupid. So I had a sister. My sister was in Chicago. So called her on a Tuesday, was on a train on Thursday and moved to Chicago.
Which that seems like that seems like it could be a very interesting shell shock too.
It was, you know, I started drinking every day when I was like
curious.
17.
You really?
Yeah, like 16.
Was that around
17.
the age you were moving, or when?
Yeah, even before that, man. I started partying really young. Like I was using and selling drugs by like 14, 15, by like my freshman, sophomore year of high school. And then I got asked to leave school because I left my dad's house. Aaron went to the Army. My mom had moved to Florida.
How big of the gap was between you and your brother?
2.5 years.
Okay. So just old enough to show you a couple of the things that maybe you shouldn't know at certain ages.
Yeah, for sure. And he, like I said, man, he was the man.
Yeah.
And then, you know, so I had stayed in Des Moines to stay with my abusive stepdad, because I was like, well, if Aaron's gone and my mom's moving, like my mom left him. It was like full Stockholm syndrome. I was like, well, someone's got to stay with him. So I stayed with him, and it lasted like 6 months before I bounced. And then my friend's family took me in for a school year for what was my junior year. And then I dipped to Chicago after that, because they asked me to leave the school. You know, I got my own apartment and you couldn't convince me to go to school. I hated it. And I was making money. And I had an apartment. And then, you know, the whole discipline structure system of like, if you skip class, we're going to call home. I'm like, that's my answering machine.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
Well, it's such a broken system, too.
Yeah, and I remember when they asked me to leave, I don't remember what I did, but they called me to the office, and they're like, hey, you know, you're going to have detention for this. I was like, I'm not coming here after school.
No.
And they're like, well, if you skip detention, you'll have Saturday school. I was like, well, I'm definitely not coming on a Saturday. I'm like, well, if you skip that, then you're going to be suspended for a day. I'm like, okay, well, it's Thursday. How about I just don't come to school tomorrow and I'll see you guys on Monday? And I like remember the look on the vice principal's face, like, fuck, he's unpunishable.
Oh,
you
no.
know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't have any accountability structure
Yeah.
anymore. I'm on my own. So they asked me to leave, and then
Struggling with authority too, from
Oh, I
those kind
hate
of
'em.
upbringing, it's
Oh,
so
yeah.
hard. And most,
yeah, well, I had to be like,
and it's hard to connect with people, and you're always in survival mode, right?
yeah. And I was over being told what to do, man. Every single movement of mine was micromanaged from my earliest memories until then. So like, yeah, bro, when I finally was out on my own and out from under my dad's thumb, it's like, no one's telling me shit.
Yeah. Sounds like it probably didn't ever have a good idea or all that stuff. Yeah.
No, I didn't know nothing. And then when I got to Chicago, you know, my sister, God bless her, I love her to death. You know, she passed, but severe alcoholic, you know. So I was just in Chicago fucking off, man, partying and doing drugs.
Yeah, drinking and then once that sets into, that starts developing your brain in a certain way, you know. You're drinking at an early age. You're not fully development. Yeah, you don't have the developmental factors there. That's what probably started bringing on the anger and stuff like that you said you started developing.
Yeah. And I just, you know, I didn't have anyone around me to help escort me into asking myself good questions.
Mm-hmm. Having positive mentors. I would
Yeah,
always say
none.
that I grew up around a lot of people that I realized I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like not even an anti-hero, but like just kind of like villains in other people's stories. Sounds like you grew up around the same.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was just kind of barflies and...
What was your lifestyle other than the drinking? What were you doing in Chicago?
hanging out, man. I played music, but not like out. But I played a lot. I played like every night with like my friends and shit, you know? So I always knew that was what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how to do it.
Did that like more heavily help influence your musical like the taste for your music for yourself?
Well, I always knew that was what I was going to do, bro. I grew up telling everyone that was what I was going to do. So like all through high school, it was like, oh, I don't need this because I'm going to do music. So, you know, like I didn't know how or like what that even looked like, but that was what I told everyone. I was like, no, I'm just going to do the music thing.
So when did you start really getting deep into the music?
Well, I was playing a lot in Chicago, and then, you know, we had like an intervention, and I got sent to Montana to go to treatment. And when I first got sober, dude, I didn't play guitar for like 6 or 7 months.
And what age was that?
22.
So 22.
Yeah.
So you had a few years of just going at it.
15 to
I
was I was drinking every day, and then when I started selling coke, it was like,
oh man,
gonzo, bro.
Yeah, that's the next level.
Every day.
And that just only attracts a certain type of person.
For sure, wolves.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of wolves, so you're in Montana now.
Yep.
Yeah, and then how many times did you end up going? Did you ever go back to rehab? Or?
No, I didn't go back, but I stumbled a little bit. Like I was sober for I think a few months after rehab, and then kind of started drinking again. I convinced myself like, oh, it was just the blow, dude. You're fine drinking. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't. And then, you know, I met my ex-wife, and just, man, God bless her. Yeah, I pretty much got sober because I was like, well, she's not going to hang out if I'm not. Mm-hmm. And I knew that we were supposed to weave our stories together, you know? So she really stuck it out with me, bro. And then from then, when I first got sober, like for real, I got super into rock climbing and skiing because I was living in this little mountain town. I moved out of Billings and into this little ski town called Red Lodge. Super into rock climbing, super into ice climbing, super into skiing and mountaineering. I like replaced my drug and alcohol addiction with that.
Yep, got to play chess in the center of the chaos, right? It's like in the tornado. You're like,
my ex-wife used to always
life
say,
is too comfortable. I got to figure out a way to be like either self-destructive or like just like seek and destroy.
Yeah, she always said that I was always seeking consciousness at gunpoint.
Yep.
Yeah, because the thing with
forced enlightenment.
Yeah, if my brain wanders, and then I found, and you know, and then I kind of started my music career, but we had just toured, man. We had like these 2 dream opening slots, and I just cooked myself. I was gone for like probably 5 out of 6 months on this one stretch. I think the longest I was home was like 9 days or something crazy.
Oh man.
And at the end, I was just like, I need a break. And for whatever reason, dude, I had met Will, the owner of the Grindhouse, in passing when I was working at this gear shop in Red Lodge. He came in, he was on his honeymoon. And I just saw that he had cauliflower ear. And, you know, I've been watching UFC and shit since I was like 6.
Yeah.
Grew up wrestling. So we're just kind of shooting the shit. And 3 years later, I'm like, I'm going to go see that dude. I'm going to go learn how to fight.
It's time.
Yeah.
The itch got
So
you.
I call my manager. I'm like, hey, I'm taking 6 months off. I'm going to go learn how to fight.
I think that's great. So just from meeting you downstairs, you actually, a lot of people, like I say, you know, like they talk about feeding the two wolves or whatever, that, you know, like the good and the bad wolf, but like not like being able to listen to that deeper voice inside you is huge.
Yeah.
And I feel like it sounds like it's been able to save you a few times for this, your sanity and being
Yeah. And I just, like I said, I can't even imagine what my life would be. I don't know if I would still be doing music if I hadn't gone in there. Like Will pep talked me a lot, man, when I was like, you know, certain parts of the music industry are just super stressful, and there would just be times where I was like, I think I just want to be a normal guy, dude.
Did you have a pretty busy mind then too, like with or without stuff like that? Like it's over analytical, like you have to tap in. Yeah. So like music, substances, it all pulls you out of that.
Yep.
That self.
There was a very definitive moment for me. So I went and was just, I'm going to box. I just want to box. And then one day, I'd been there a few weeks, Will was like, you grew up wrestling, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, you should roll with me. Like, you'll probably do fine, dude. You wrestled. And the ease at which he toyed with me was like so angering to me. I was like, well, I don't know how to fight if I don't learn this. Like, that was crazy, dude.
Just in case you say, if one man can hold you down, two can fuck you.
Yeah. And I'm like, because I'm like, dude, I wrestled for 10 years. So I'm like, in my head, I was always like, well, I don't need jiu-jitsu because, like,
I was lucky enough to find them both the same year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But even then, like, but then you're learning how to create space and eliminate space. There's a weird dynamic.
Yeah, so there was a part we were in the gi, and he was on my back, but he
and you start. Oh
he
man,
pulled my
starting gi too
over
like,
my face.
Yeah.
And I'm like freaking out. I'm freaking out, and his face is like right by my head, you know. And he goes, "Stop it! You can breathe. Breathe." I was like,
"That's what I tell people too."
I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
He's like, and then we stopped, and I like turn and look at him. He's like, "Yeah, you convinced yourself you couldn't breathe. You can breathe in there."
Yeah, you're not swimming in the deep end. You're in the shallow end. You're
totally
gonna win.
fine.
You're gonna win.
It's like when someone's like drowning, you're like, put your feet down,
yeah,
dude.
Exactly.
You know?
That's it. Like stand up.
And for whatever reason, that moment, dude, it just like stuck with me. And it was like the first, jiu-jitsu is like life. Mm-hmm. And then from that moment on, bro, I was just hooked because I started thinking like, how many other times in my life have I convinced myself like, oh shit, I'm drowning. And then I'm like, no, you're not.
Or you're deep in a choke, but you're able to get your shoulder.
Yeah, it's like, look away from it.
And then to know when to tap.
Yep.
Because it's both still make you manly.
Yep,
you know?
Totally. Yeah, so I got hooked super, super fast. And then
would you say that helped pull you out of the or pull your brain into a better safer space?
Bro.
Because then I'm sure too, then like, not saying calling you manic, but you could like being stacked with work and stuff like that, and only getting 9 days to try to recoup, then it could put you in manic states sometimes.
100%. Yeah. What I did, I feel like, to cope with our heavy touring schedule was I would disassociate. I would be like, oh, well, I'm not actually a real person. Because I would like be on tour and interact with people, and they would make small talk, and I would be like, I would just brush it off because I'm like, if you try to talk to me, it won't make sense. Like, you live here. You woke up in your bed this morning. Like, I'm not. When you go to bed, I'll be leaving. Mm-hmm. Like, and then I'll do it again tomorrow.
And then it's the same
over. And
what
over
is that? The Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just like I'm in transit always,
you're
dude.
Like,
I'm
motherfucking Bill Murray right now.
Yeah, dude. I'm a permanent visitor. Yeah. So like I kind of would disassociate and would like. Yeah, I just would disassociate. And what training started helping me do was I started training on the road. And now I have like this amazing extended family from martial arts that was from me posting on Instagram like, hey, I'm going to be in Cleveland. Any fans that train anywhere? So I'm like, hey, I'm a purple belt at this gym. You should come train with us. Okay.
That's got to be super fun.
It is so cool.
It's like it sounds like your life can be like a movie anyways, but it's like one of those old school like samurai movies where you're going from dojo to dojo.
Yeah, totally.
The Ronin white belt.
And I've only had like 2 experiences that were kind of unfavorable where I like ended up in like, oh, we're fighting. Got it.
Yeah. Cool.
But
awesome.
But for the most part, a lot of times it was someone that was like, I own a school, you should come. Mm-hmm. So I kind of always got to come under the like, hey, this is a homie of mine. He's in town. He's got to sing tonight. So it was always really cool. But For whatever reason, that training on the road not only helped with my mental health, but it also kept me tethered to home.
Do you think stuff like that too kind of benefits your music in the long run?
For sure.
Because I know too with artists, sometimes I feel like even myself in some aspects, like they almost feel like without like the chaos and the darkness, like they're not as artistic.
Yeah, man, I used to think that. I went through a whole phase of that.
You needed like the dark. I need the darkest of the dark for this. That's why this happened. It's
I had like
the
a
substance and thing too.
I had like a 3-year period, man, where I was sober for a chunk of it, and then I relapsed for a chunk of it, and then I went through a divorce. Yeah, bro, I had this whole like 2-3 year season. I would say from like 2022 to 2020, mid 2024. I was really like letting that be the thing. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, but I'm just here to make art, so it's like, it's fine.
But this makes it better, or like whatever. Like I think more clearly when I wake up with a hangover, or something like that. Like,
for me, it was also just like, you know, I still struggle with that sometimes. Where I'm like, you know, maybe my life isn't for me, and God called me to be of service. So in that, it's just gonna suck.
Yeah, and like okay. You know the idea of the soul contract. Like you came down here, you just don't remember.
Yeah,
this is like the elementary school of souls. Yeah, like that, or you look into like the Hermetic principles. Like we were talking about earlier. There's more than five levels of consciousness. Supposedly there's 26 layers. All that.
Yeah, and I think a big thing for me too. I'm just a big fan of religious texts, all of them.
It's a soup.
Yeah,
like you gotta.
Yeah, and I really love the Bible. And one thing that's a common theme in the Bible with all the prophets, all the people that God really used had a real rough go. So I always have like kind of incorporated that in the thing of like, no, dude, he put me here to do this music. So yeah, dude, I gotta spend some time in the desert. I gotta fight off the theologians. I gotta fucking like, yeah, dude, I gotta go through it.
Yeah, you're like,
I gotta slay a giant.
At some point, I had asked for strength.
Yeah,
and you're like, I got some heavy weights.
Yeah, and for me, man. Like the thing that's mitigated so much of that, not just martial arts, but when I got like serious about lifting weights, like, man, that time for me in the morning, that hour, like, yeah, getting bigger is cool. But like for my mental health, man, like what you were saying, like, could you take 4 days off from working out? I'm like, I didn't lift today because I lifted 5 days, and I was like, okay, I'll make Saturday my rest day since it's going to be really busy.
And being able to flip that switch and get into that beast, like the whatever you want to call that mode, like letting the demons do arts and crafts. And like, do you want Play-Doh today? Do you want paper mache? Like it tapping in anywhere because you're like, nah, I'll go light today. Next thing you know,
yeah. You know what's funny that I've been doing? So I've always hated cardio, and so I've been doing these like 20-minute circuits on the treadmill where I run for a mile. Like kind of power walk for a mile, run for a mile. I'm not particularly into heavy music. I like a lot. There's like a handful of pop punk bands I really like, and I like a lot of that old 90s punk rock, right? Bad Religion, that kind of shit. And but there's this hardcore band Kubla Khan that I've gotten really.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, dude, it's gnarly. But when I'm running, it unlocks some weird. That's it. It's like, no, there's this dark part of me that wants to like run into an open field and chase an enemy with very primitive weapons. Yeah. And like when I'm doing my sprints and listening to it, I'm just like, whoa, you know, it like unlocks something, and then I get right back. As soon as I get off the treadmill, reggae goes back on. I'm like, all right, he's back.
Yeah, you know, and he's back. I do that too with I'll do like, you know, even like Slipknot and some of the other bands too. I'm like anything that double bass. It's like you're like.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Or the Black Album. I'll run if I have like a 30-minute run or longer. I'll do the Black Album, Metallica's, like front to cut, and then you pick up a rhythm through that album or those songs where you'll pick up and then you'll slow down, and it somehow just works perfect.
Yeah, and then sometimes if I'm like, no, dude, we're gonna do like slow state cardio today. That's when I'll put on like Bob. I'll get stoned and put on Bob Marley. And
I'll do jazz hop or anything like
you know.
You have that.
But yeah, if I'm like. We're going into the cardio pit, dude. I bring Kubla Khan.
Some people don't have the awareness for that. Like you put on a certain pair of shoes, you put on a certain gi, a certain rash guard. Yeah. It uncovers a few things that maybe you don't even see consciously sometimes. Like, you know, you put on that. So now that song ever comes on, like they're like, why did he just get out of the passenger side of the car and take off running?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. I gotta get this out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that. I just think for me, my body you know, maybe it's just like a bunch of stored trauma, but for me, you know, my head is really all over the place. I'm always thinking about my son. I'm getting married this year. You know, this is the tour going to go good? I wonder how tickets or sales are doing. And, you know, my head's just always bouncing around. And for me, I don't think about anything when I'm working out. I'm just there.
Just
and
tapped in.
So good. Yeah. And I have this joke of like, Will is my only friend that if I see him at the gym, I'll take my earbud for out. Everyone else.
Nux.
Sorry,
Yeah.
bro.
No, 100%.
No,
Like,
this is my 1 hour that I got, dude, and I can't share it with you.
I get it. Just in that same statement, I appreciate you doing a podcast with me.
Yeah, dude. So grateful that you could make it happen.
100%. No, it's great. And I'm glad to get to meet you and everybody else here as well. But yeah, it's movement meditation. Meditation is what you make it, and finding that flow state. For me too, like I'll switch up the music or do no music sometimes. Like I did that for 2 years. Just because one day my headphones died and I couldn't work out the same. I was like, oh, this is too big of a crutch for you.
Yeah.
Like you don't want it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's cool that you like leaned into that as a challenge.
Well, that or I'll switch up gyms sometimes too, because like I just have to remind myself. I'm like, hey, you're making up stories about people you don't know because that's not your parking spot.
Yeah.
You rent these fire hydrants you pee on, sir. You don't own
them.
So I love you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Just because it smells like a Great Dane today doesn't mean it's yours.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I think if more people could understand how to unlock their mind via, for one, gut health, and for two, movement, because your body's a river system. Like it's energetic. Like you need the sun. We need all of that. And I think hopefully it's a bell curve coming back around for people, you know? So not everybody is ever going to be able to experience coming from feeling like crap, feeling worthless, going in and out of substances, and then being able to know what healthy and successful feels like at the same time, like real wealth, like health and whatever that.
Yeah, for me, it's like good relationships. You know, is the big indicator for me of like where I'm at and how I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think too. Like, you know, I didn't mean to get big. I was like when COVID hit, it was the first time that I was able to now I can really control my diet. I'm not going anywhere, you know, and, you know, sought out some hormone help and put on some weight. And then I just got addicted to it. I got body dysmorphia, I think, you know.
Oh, dude, I feel you. I used to do physique competitions. And even though I feel great, I'm like, I'll see pictures when I was 25 and I'm like, bro, shut up. Yeah. Like if you ever said it out loud to somebody, you're like, well, my shoulders aren't big. Man.
So, dude, this is how bad mine is. It's funny. So, we take one of our fighters to fight in Philly at this BKFC event. And these two dudes are facing off on stage. And I think they were fighting at 65.
Dude, that's a gnarly sport, too. I went to the BKFC when they were here.
My buddy fought on that card.
That sound is a little different. I was like, ooh, it took me 2 rounds to get used to it. I'm
it cracks. It's even weirder when you're cornering.
That's what I was going to say. All my homies were fighting. Yeah. Because the Utah card, they stacked it. Yeah, and I was like, oh, man. It's
brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it though. It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah. I'm like,
it's a whole different game. But I was like, damn, bro, these guys are huge. And Will's like, you're substantially larger than both those men, Drew. I was like, no, I'm not. So they get done doing their face off and walk off stage. He's like, go stand next to him. So I go stand next to him. And I was like, oh. And then I walk back and he shows me a picture. I was like, oh, shit. He's like, yeah, dude.
You're like, man, that bald guy looks just like me.
Yeah. I was like, who's the big bald guy standing by those guys? But it's so funny. I think it's just because I was skinny my whole life that I just 205 pounds. And I still am like, no, you don't look, you look tiny, dude.
Dude, it's so funny. And then you get in pictures and then you notice you're the one that's trying to size down to four other people.
My buddy Brigham posted this meme one time. It was like, teach a man to lift, he'll be in shape for a day, give him body dysmorphia, and he'll have a gym membership for life.
Yeah. Living through every acronym.
Yeah.
And some of that help. Yeah. But it's so. Were you strictly bodybuilding for a while, or
no? I just wanted to get big.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
what's your lifting style now? You said you didn't
full
do cardio?
Bodybuilder splits.
Yeah.
Yeah. All my functional training, I'm like, because I spend most of the days on the pads. You know, I'm doing sessions with fighters, at least 2 or 3 a day. So I'm like, I get plenty of functional training. There's a whole shoulder routine that I do before I hold the pads, because it was starting to wear me out, bro. It was starting to tear me up. So, I lift more for mental health, and like looking good naked is like a cool side effect of it. But for me, it's like, I don't need my body to do. I go to yoga 3 times a week too. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of like, I'm not in here to like add power to my right hand. I'm not in here to like make my left hook more devastating.
It's just to have just the environment change enough to keep my sanity. And
yes,
here
I want to build muscle,
yeah.
and then I go to yoga to like,
yeah,
make sure I'm keeping my mobility.
The ebbs and flows. I always say that too. I'm like, most of these guys in here train like concrete. Like you got to be like bamboo.
Dude, I see some guys too. Like,
you don't want to blow your bicep out because your chest is too tight.
Right, and there's this guy that's a bodybuilder that always is he lifts at the same time as me every morning. And I watch him move around, dude, and he looked like he just got in a car accident. The way he moves, he's just like, and he's probably older. He's probably my age, but like, just watching him walk looks painful.
I was just talking to a client today about that because she was like, it's funny because you're 205, you're a big guy, but you don't walk like you're a bodybuilder. Yeah. Like you don't, it's not that rocking around like internally rotated Frankenstein. Yeah, because they have no pliability. Like you'd snap an Achilles tendon or something. Yeah, try to strike like that. Yeah,
Yeah, and for me, yoga too, man. So my journey with yoga has been funny because my ex-wife taught yoga that since I met her, for 13 years. Like she's been doing it now for probably close to 20. I just never really got into it. I was like, that's not my thing.
That's her thing.
Yeah, that's her thing. That's not mine. And then when I moved out of the mountains, when I moved to Billings, there's a really cool studio called Black Orchid. And I was like, I'm going to go pay for 20 classes up front. And I'm like, I'm just going to go at least 3 times a week, like until these 20 classes are up. And I did. And I'll never forget. It was so funny, dude. Like the first few classes, I'm like, all right, I'm an athlete. This is hard. Yeah. This is like new. But I remember the first class where my breath was connected with my movements, and I'd been to enough classes that the movements were familiar, and I'm like, okay, I know where we're going next. And I like felt that breath,
tapping into
body thing, and I almost out loud was like, hey guys, I get it. I understand why you guys do this all the time. This is actually super sick. Like it hit me like, oh, this is what everyone, because the first week or so I was just like, I mean, I do feel good when I leave here, but I'm like, I don't like this enough to like that I want to go do it. I do it because I know it's good for me. And then that day it clicked like, oh, this is dope.
Yeah. You're in sequence, you find your flow.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is fucking amazing.
It's like once you get to the first couple chords on a guitar or something.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that was a note.
It's starting to make sense.
Yeah, that was almost
it was almost a song.
Yeah, it was almost a whole song there.
Yeah.
But I feel like that too, like, and I feel like there's a lot of comparisons to like hot yoga and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like the preschool for it.
Yeah. Dude, so the class I go to these flow classes. It's hot. Like you're definitely covered in sweat when you leave, but it's not torturous. Dude, my friend Sammy Tweedo, she is like from Bikram lineage.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, I teach a class Wednesday night. You guys should come. She's like, you'll do great. I was like, I don't know, Sammy. Like, the classes that I go to are pretty chill. I've heard about you. She's like, no, like you're going to do awesome. I went, and like that whole time I was like, I don't think most of my like middle of camp fighters could do this shit.
Right. You're looking over at the 80-year-old lady in the corner just kicking ass.
Dude, there's like a middle-aged dude with like the most unassuming body that's like fully fucking an eagle, covered in sweat.
It's like that with jiu-jitsu too.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is... And I just remember, the whole time I was like, this literally could be, like I was thinking like, I should use this as punishment. Yeah. Like if one of my guys like misses 2 classes, I'm like, well, now you got to go do 3 hot yoga classes, motherfucker. You got to go to 3 of Sammy's classes, or you can't come train.
You still got 15 pounds to lose. We're going to hot yoga.
Dude, it was insane. And then that Shavasana, I was like, oh, you earned this one. The yoga I go to is pretty chill. And, I think now that I know what to expect, I would go back to Sammy's class. But I was just like, this is why everyone was freaking out about Bikram yoga. Because, like, this is insane. I mean, it wasn't hot in there. It was
and then some of the nicest girls turn into drill instructors. When they're like,
Sammy is the sweetest.
6, 7. You're like, what the? Like, but then they're like just cute, bubbly before and after.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking around because I get in there, right? I look like I just got off the fucking yard, bro. And it's like all these like middle-aged dudes.
I'm always laughing in the mirror. Me's in the background too. I'm like,
Even right before the class started, I look at myself, I was like, "You a fucking ape, bro. You know, like you a bad motherfucker in here." And then
out of place.
I'm like looking around, like, is anybody else tapping out? Does anybody else feel like they're gonna die? No, it's just me.
And then the first time I tried it too, I didn't have a towel down too.
Oh no,
so I'm like over here
slip and slide, dude.
Yeah, my mobility goes a little past usually the normal sized mats. Man, it's just a beast. I like, that's one of those things. It's like going to like 5 a.m. jiu-jitsu class. I just always make an excuse to wake up that early.
Yeah.
You're like, man, same with getting back into hot yoga. It's like, am I ready for that?
Yeah.
And then you think you go to the 90 and then you think the 60 is going to be easier, but then it's 3 times as fast in the 60 minutes and still as hot.
Bro, that to me, I taught a 6 a.m. class for a while. And that was like a special crew. Like, I think back on that, I was like, I think maybe I was a brown belt when I was teaching that. But that was like a special crew.
Very analytical people.
Yeah, we had a real special crew for 6 a.m. jiu-jitsu. But I always think, too, of the people that go do, there's 2 5:30 a.m. classes at the studio I go to. And there's like the super intense, like shape one in the super hot room. And then there's another hard class that's in the not so hot room. I'm like, I think I might commit to that for like a month. Because like that changes your brain, dude.
Oh, 100%.
When you're waking up at 5 a.m., and then going like right into a cycling class or hot yoga or something like that. Like that's gangster way to start your day.
Oh, 100%. It's like there's people that do dang cold plunges every day at that time too. I'm all for contrast therapy, but sometimes
Dude,
I'm like,
I just heard some wild stuff about cold plunge early in the morning, especially for guys our age. So if someone has high blood pressure, their blood pressure is the highest right when they wake up, right? And then they plunge into cold water and violently constrict all of their blood vessels.
You can go into cardiac arrest.
Go into cardiac arrest, have a stroke. And I guess it's like pretty common. It's becoming more and more common.
And especially these people, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, you don't even walk 2 miles on a treadmill, let alone why are you just going straight to 39-degree water?
Yeah, so
it's
that
like,
was what they
55,
suggested.
like,
Was they were like, you know, and the funny thing is like all of the breath and mental benefits and all of the endorphin release, like all of that stuff, it doesn't have to be that cold. It comes from the, like, whatever's cold enough to make you do that, that means it's cold enough.
It follows the cortisol spike.
Yes.
You could just dip your face in, too.
Totally.
That's what I tell people. I was like, they're like, oh, I'm doing this every day. I was like, you struggle sleeping. That is the complete opposite of what you should do. Because if your dopamine doesn't follow the cortisol, then you're just extra stressed and tired.
Yeah.
And then you're probably not going to eat enough. So you can't increase your caloric surplus in your body because you're already.
I do. On my cardio days, so 3 days a week, I'll do 20 minutes in the sauna. And then I go out and turn the faucet, the like shower head right outside the sauna, all the way cold. And I'll just run my head under it until I can catch my breath. And then once I'm like breathing normal, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, people don't
That's
realize.
like perfect.
It's your diaphragm.
Yeah.
It's your activation of your diaphragm, the hyperventilation.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because and my thing is like once I get that under control, then as soon as I'm done, then I get that cool rush where I'm like, whoo.
Yeah, the dopamine. Once you warm back up again too. Because I've been trying to do it 3 days a week. Not right when I wake up because I got to drive there, so it's probably within the hour. So at least
which that's good because it gives your body. Yeah, and that's all they were saying was like these people doing cold showers right when they wake up.
Yeah.
It's like no, dude, give your body some water and like let it move around a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And they're not like us kind of.
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of these guys are just like out of shape and they think that's going to help them sell later today. I'm like, man, be careful. Who's like, well, any dad out there too, it's like, who's supplying the information and paying for it? Like, you got to be careful. Like, you'll get on both sides.
Yep.
So going back to touring and training jiu-jitsu, now we're going into yoga as well. What do you think that you could say some of the hardest experiences you've had while touring, and then some of the most pivotal experiences that you've had? Maybe that's a loaded question because it's been years, but maybe just off the top of your head, maybe a few of the. We went into the trials a little bit, but
so we had been like the first really cool moment as a musician for me. We had been touring like a bunch and playing for nobody because there's this weird thing where you go from playing bars where they pay you pretty decently to going into venues where you have to sell tickets. But you're not going to get on opening slots for tours or festivals unless you are headlining shows. Like even if you're selling no tickets, they got to see that you're like doing the thing. So we were selling like no tickets and we did the most egregious headlining tour this one summer. We played like 16 shows in a row.
And that's like grinding too, right? Because there wasn't social media and
There
on that
was,
level?
but it wasn't big. It wasn't like
Yeah.
it is right now. Like everything was on Facebook and
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
like-
Dane Cook way he's used to.
but we were just grinding in the van, you know, zero sleep. And then the shows aren't cool because you're not playing for anybody. And then, you know, yeah, towards the end of that summer, you start being like, fuck, dude, is this even worth it? Like, and then we played this festival in Minnesota called Shangri-La. Or no, Project Earth. It was in June. And it was the last show of that, like, run of shows. And the festival was probably 2,000 people. It wasn't huge. But they put us on the main stage at, like, 9 o'clock. So they gave us, like, an insane time slot, you know? And my bro, Uncle Joe, man, God bless him. He was just like, yeah, we'll push him and see if he can, you know, see if he owns it.
Make or break moment.
Yeah, and we started playing this song I Am, which is, you know, now has like 50 million streams across all platforms, but at the time it did not. But I'm like playing it, and I remember going over to my bass player at the time, Carl, and I was like, dude, I think they know this song. Because like right when we started playing it, everyone kind of started cheering, and I was like, that was weird. And then we start playing the song, and I'm like looking out, you know, and the lights are kind of moving through this dark crowd, but I keep seeing random faces like singing along, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, whoa, they know the song. And then we got to the chorus, and I was like, oh, they're singing. They know this song. So at the very last chorus, I like stuck my finger up, which means everybody get ready to stop. And we hit the downbeat, and I spun the microphone around, and it was like, you know, 1,500 people all singing these words back to me, and I was like, oh, shit. So I was like, it's working. You know, and that I needed it so bad, dude. Like I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this, dude. And then that gave me like another 2 years worth of motivation.
Oh
that
my
one
gosh.
show, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and it's those, like, it sounds like that you've had pivotal moments like that. It's just like an aha moment, or the right person lands in your lap, or you turn left instead of right.
Yep.
Man, and so leading up to that, and then where would you say things start taking off? Do you start headlining more and more?
I think
after
it was really after we did that whole huge tour with Michael Franti, like over the course of like 4 months. Him and Trevor Hall, we were kind of bouncing back and forth between the two of them, and that was where everything kind of started picking up. Was after that, like,
yeah, Trevor. Okay, yeah, that whole. It's been interesting to see and hear like different musicians or different like the levels that people like start climbing. Would you say that what like how is your how am I trying to word this over the course of time? How would you say like the fame, stardom, like growing and expanding changed? Maybe like did it change your music at all? Like was it harder to maybe find?
No, it didn't change the music. It definitely changed my life, though.
Yeah, did it change the outlook, like for you as like how?
Well, it's just weird when strangers start paying attention to you, you know, and a lot of unsolicited opinions about what you're doing. You know, it did kind of mess with my marriage, just in the way of like, I don't know. It just changed everything. It just made everything different.
Because that's something that you can't really be taught, right? Like you don't have.
And I didn't get like, you know, like I get recognized like in this airport or like Minneapolis airport, you know, but I'm not like, no one's gonna bug me. But the thing with social media is it's like, well, now all of a sudden there's like 50,000 people that are watching all of your stuff
all the time.
And
then you post something, some people.
Yeah, and then 2020, like I think really scared the shit out of a bunch of us of just like, oh, they'll eat you at any point in time. These people will turn on you and absolutely ruin you if they don't. If you did something they don't like or approve of. So you know, that, and then going through my divorce, like when I went through my divorce, it was a very wild thing of like, you know, when I announced my engagement to my fiance, like multiple people reached out to my ex-wife to be like, what? Drew's getting engaged? Like, what the fuck? You know, people she doesn't even know. You know, it's like, what?
You're like so invested in your life.
Like, what are you doing, man? Like, this is my actual life. Like, that could actually change the mother of my child's mood and dictate how my day might end up.
Yeah.
You fuck. you know, like, what are you doing?
Just individuals projecting.
And then even like on our engagement announcement, you know, a couple people commented like, you know, I can't believe that, you know, you left your first wife or that you left some, you know, just crazy stuff. I'm like, dude, you know, I just always like hide the comment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not.
But yeah, inside me, I just am like, I want to run a whole dossier on you and come find you. I'm going to come to Valensburg, Pennsylvania, and I'm going to come see you, dude. Like, what are you doing, you know? So, but it's an adjustment, and it's made me get really real with, like, not just what matters, but who matters. And it's like, if you don't know me, like...
Oh, and there's no way. I was like, what do you know about this little glass box in front of you? Like, and then, like, for that level, like, you're multifaceted. Like, and sorry, I'm trying to be happy.
And that's what's weird about music, though, is, like, I feel like when someone's an actor, you're like, well, I don't really know who that person is, right? They've played a bunch of people. But with music, like, they're like...
Paint a picture.
You were with me through my divorce. Oh, how could you end your marriage? You know, like, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
gosh, yeah.
You're integrated into their story, so they're not just like, oh, you're this weird celebrity figure. They're like, they feel like they know you because they've spent very intimate moments of their lives with you integrated in those moments with them.
How can you do this, Uncle Drew?
Exactly.
Uncle.
Yeah, it's messed up.
You were at my wedding.
Yeah,
the third song
you played at my wedding, dude.
You don't even know.
Yep. So yeah, it's a weird, heavy expectation.
It's very, oh man, I didn't even think of it as being like a self-centered aspect of like, you know, like you're part of their family. But
I don't know them.
Like, or they're part of your, exactly. But they're not part of yours. It's like that, just that. And then they're painting this version of you that like.
There was a really interesting learning lesson for me. We were in, where were we? It doesn't matter. We were on tour. I was on the tour bus. And I just had a huge argument with my ex-wife over the phone. And I get off the bus and was like, I'm going to go get a coffee. So I get off the bus and like put my hood up. And like right when I get around the front end of the bus, I see these two people like eyes light up and they start running across the street. And I'm like, fuck, dude. God, I don't want to do this right now, you know? Like, just got off the phone 17 seconds ago. Drew, hey. I was like, hey, what's up, guys? They're like, hey, can we get a picture real quick? I'm like, yep. So I take a picture. And he starts going into some crazy story. It was him and his girl. And he starts going into some crazy story about his cousin committing suicide. And I'm kind of sitting there. I was like, hey, man, I don't want to be rude, man, but I'm kind of having a day. Like, do you want another picture? Are we good? He's like, yeah, we're good. And like storms off. And I was like, man, I felt like I was like pretty cool there.
Yeah.
You know, like I tried to be pretty cool, but like also I'm a guy too.
Yeah.
And it was like months later, I was announced on some festival or something. So what festivals will do is like once a week, they'll pick a different artist to highlight, and whatever festival it picked me. So I'm like reading through the comments of like, let's see who's excited that I'm coming, you know? And this one was the guy's like, I met him. He's a fucking asshole. And I'm like, I'm not an asshole. I've never been an asshole. You know, like I've never been an asshole to a fan. So I click on the profile and I see his face and I'm like, oh no. This fucking guy.
Yeah, damn it.
Yeah. So I responded to his comment, was just like, hey bro, so you know, like I know for you probably bought this ticket 2 months in advance and we're like, what if I meet him? And then you see me walking on the street, you're like, holy shit, this is happening. Here's what was happening in my day at that moment. You know, and I still gave you a picture and I listened to like 70% of your story. And then I was like, hey man, come on. Yeah. Can I please walk away right now, dude? So it's like, you know, there's that too. It's like, they don't know, you know, we don't do that with things that we idolize, you know, we're not like, oh, that's a real person that has, you know, a complex, nuanced human existence. That's just the guy that sings the song.
And that's been something that I've enjoyed, like with like either talking with or learning the backside of people, like, cause I'm a big Izzy fan.
Yeah.
And that's something he talks about. He's like, I'll try to take a picture, but like it's those things that like where you're stuck and you don't like. That's why if I ever meet anybody like, you know, Joe Rogan or whoever, I'm always just like, hey, how's your day going? Yeah, like, hey, I don't even do the picture very much anymore. No. Like it's just hard. And I just am like, what's the picture for? Yeah, exactly. Like, are you gonna post it? Is that what's going on?
You want people to
an
see that
event
you
or
saw me or something? Yeah,
podcast
exactly.
or
That's
something,
a different thing.
That
Totally.
kind of makes it a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. Just off the street.
Because
like,
I can say,
but
honestly.
you can see how people, like, you can see if you're smiling, then
Totally.
it's good. But if you're kind of looking off to the
have
side.
my hood
like,
up and I'm like,
but people don't have that. It's so sad. It's the self-centeredness of, and then you're his villain now.
Totally.
Don't ever meet your heroes.
And I think about like a guy like a Joe Rogan, where I'm like, he'd probably think you were so cool if you like talked to him for 5 minutes and then didn't ask for a picture and we're just like, anyway, man, we'll have a good one.
Yeah.
I'll get out of your hair. He'd probably be like, do you want to go get dinner with us in a bit? You
Right?
know, like,
do you want to see Lex Friedman drunk?
yeah, exactly. You know, like, so I think that's a thing too of like, you know, I have a few friends that are like famous, super famous dudes.
Yeah, it seems hard as hell.
It is, dude. And what is really refreshing for them is when they're not treated that way. Because they're literally just dudes. Like, oh, sorry, I was good at this thing. People noticed I was good at it, and then I kept doing it, and now it just turned into a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. But you're still a human.
Still just a guy, dude.
But then it sucks because then there's the people that are freaking like Hollywood robots. Because I've done a couple movies and stuff, and I'm like, what in the adrenochrome are you? Because they don't have anything in between.
Dude, I was just thinking the other day in traffic for no reason. Oh, I was listening to Mariah Carey. I'm a Mariah Carey fan.
Me too.
So my manager's wife is the business manager for like a huge company. Like they do Bieber, like up there. And I don't remember if it was her that told me the story or not. But someone was telling me about this Mariah Carey was doing some event and she asked for this specific suite, but like the demands were crazy. You know what I mean? Like I'd like the hot tub to be full of like strawberry champagne, you know, like just maybe that wasn't it. Right. But like these outlandish, like, what are you for what, dude? Just to see if they'll do it. But you know, just these like absurd things. And they did like everything but one thing. And then she was like, I'm not doing the event. I'm flying home right now. You know, because there was 23 kisses on the table instead of 22.
But that goes back to the troubled child, right?
Yeah.
They have to get in that power that not everybody.
Yeah, you can't give that shit to everyone.
Well, from doing stuff in California to like doing modeling and stuff out here was a different thing. And I come from a blue collar background. I wouldn't know I was going to be a model or anything.
Yeah.
I thought they were fucking with me. You know, they were like, "Hey, dude, you'd be good at." I'm like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
I'm like, psych. But anyways, I hear like places like Utah, like all that kind of stuff's growing out here, but they're way nicer. Like I hear like some of the designers came from New York and they were like, "Oh my gosh, you're lucky. Stay here because you got nice people here. You go to other states." And then I seen it in California. The last time I was on site out there, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like starting to see that.
It's a icky. What can I get from you vibe always, and if I'm cooler than you, then you know, that shit, bro. There's not a lot of things that'll make me get physically confrontational anymore. That will. If you try to cool guy me, I don't give a fuck who you are, bro.
Right.
You're gonna be respectful to
100%.
me and everybody that's with me because there's no reason not to be.
No.
Like just there's like so I just met there's this reggae band called the Elevators. They're fucking blowing up right now. But my first sound guy is running sound for them. So they had a day off in Billings. He's like, "Hey, you know, come hang out." And I went and hung out with them, man. And the lead singer, Jackson, who writes all the songs, like it's his band, you know, they're on a crazy come up right now. And it's like kind of just starting, but they sold out Red Rocks like 3 months in advance. Like,
That's a dope venue.
yeah, they're on the ride. And he is the sweetest, most like humble, grateful, kind dude ever. And it was like so refreshing. And then he invited me to come hang out with him in Bozeman and hop up on stage with him. And I just, you know, a lot of musicians I don't get along with, you know, like, I'll get along with them, but I'm not like, we're going to be buddies.
It's like a work interest.
Yeah.
Like you're cool sitting down with them.
It's good to see you, bro. Yeah. But with him, I was like, I literally got home and was like, that next day, and was like, what's a non-gay way to be like, hey, man, I really like you?
Did you just send him the Step Brothers movie?
No. So he starts texting me and was like, hey, bro. It was like a couple days later. He's like, hey, dude, I was in Oregon and I bumped into Evan, a mutual friend of ours, and we were just talking about how dope you are. I was like, oh, I love Evan. He's like, hey, bro, I don't want to be weird, but I really dig you, bro. Like, you remind me of every homie that I grew up with. Like, hanging out with you was a breath of fresh air. Like, I don't meet many musicians that are, like, cool like you. I was like, same, bro. I was going to say, like, I wrote that text like 4 different ways and deleted it. So thank you for saying that, you know.
I'm just trying to build bunk beds with you.
Yeah, dude. But so cool. And it's like, I just love seeing good guys win, man. Because there's a lot of shitheads that win. And it's cool seeing good people get good opportunities and capitalize and do well.
Exactly. Like, because, I mean, I'm sure you see a lot of talent coming up. Jiu-jitsu, everything.
Yep.
And that's when the self-sabotage things come in, or they don't put it in the work.
Yeah,
like, so
dealing with that with a couple of my younger guys.
Really?
Yep.
And then you get that, they get the opportunity, but you see them take it and run with it. And I think that's amazing. It's hard too nowadays. I feel like with the dopamine culture we're talking about with cell phones, like people just don't have I think motivation is kind of an illusion. You know, you just got to do it anyways. But yeah, just that whole. Speaking of Red Rocks, what are some of your favorite venues you've played?
Red Rocks is up there. We'll play there again this summer.
I wish I would have been able to take my dad to see Roger Waters there.
Oh yeah,
a couple years back. It was like 2015. I still bums me out I didn't get tickets.
Yeah, Red Rocks is cool. Honestly, bro, it's a small venue. Smaller, I think it's 700 people. Soundwell here in Salt Lake, man. I love that venue. I'm playing there again for the solo tour. I love that venue. I love the staff. I love Vaughn, who owns that venue. It's one of those places when I see it on the tour list, I'm like, I know that's going to be a good night. 1, I know the turnout will be good, but 2, I know the sound is going to be good. I know hospitality is going to be dope. Like every time I'm there, it's like, you know, it's not just like, hey man, because everyone's like, yo, bro, how are you?
It feels home.
Yeah,
you know,
you don't get that on tour a lot.
You know, everything's gonna check the boxes.
Yeah,
so
and
less stress.
If I need anything, they're gonna be happy to give it to me.
Yeah.
You know? And then Janice, you know, I haven't gotten to play there since 2018 when I played there with Fronti, or 2017, whenever it was. It's such a cool outdoor venue, like one of the coolest outdoor venues. I think it holds 2,000, but the layout of it is so unique. And for me, it would be an insanely cool full circle. I'm probably a couple years from it, but selling that out. Because, like, you know, that first summer that I was touring really hard, I played there with Nako, which is why I got to come back and play with Fronti. There's just, like, early career jump-off points are all kind of related to that venue. So if I could go sell that out by myself, that would be, like... That'd be so fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, dude, I feel it. I can feel it in my bones that you're gonna do it sooner than later.
I hope so.
Yeah, especially it seems like you're killing it, on a good track.
Trying, man.
Mentally, physically, emotionally, right now.
Yeah, best I've ever been.
Not to put pressure on you. You're like, thanks for putting pressure on me, bro.
Don't jinx it. But no, I feel really good. I'm almost done with a new record that we'll release right as soon as I'm done with the European leg of this 10-year anniversary tour. I can't wait to get this new music out. So it's just been a while. I feel like I have momentum right now. It's been a few years since I felt like I had momentum. You know, it's like we have this huge celebratory 10-year anniversary tour, and then I'm going right into releasing another record. Have some cool shit in the works for 2027 already.
And just from meeting you, I can tell you're very passionate because you can tap into. I can tell when a family member passed away just by the way the way you articulate the conversation, and I really appreciate that because you can see you, like you said, you've been numb before, and for you to be 100% in the whole conversation and be able to 100% feel those emotions, it's really cool.
Thanks,
I don't see that with a lot of individuals, let alone people that have a really busy, tight schedule and can get burnt out pretty easy. Like it's very, like I said, it's very inspiring to see that. I'm like, man, he's passionate, and it's you feel that emotion from when you're talking about something, and I can see it. Bro. No, like you radiate it. That's huge.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. What are some of the tours you got, or the dates and stuff you have coming up? What are some solo stuff?
The 10-year anniversary tour. The leg in April will be the entire West Coast. From literally Bellingham, which is like damn near the Canadian border, all the way to San Diego, which is pretty much the Mexican border.
Good old San Diego.
Yeah, entire West Coast, and then up through Arizona, Utah, into Colorado. And then I play a few festivals in Europe in May, and then June will all be Midwest and Northeast. And then festival season. And then September is Europe. I get married at the end of August, and 5 days after my wedding, I go on a month-long Europe tour.
Really, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Way to step back up to the plate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bold move. I'm stoked though.
Yeah, that's good though, man. Just trust the process. Sounds
Yeah.
like you're doing well enough to have a really good internal voice on the good things
Yeah,
to lean
she's the
towards.
best, man.
And we need it. Like, that's just it. Having those goddesses in your life.
Yeah,
And
she's
picking them.
So she's just the most supportive, loving,
That's huge.
kindest, sweetest person I've ever met.
Do you ever still feel like you're not worthy of the love or anything like that?
Dude, it was a whole process for me and her because, you know, my relationship with my ex-wife there were parts of it that were amazing, but we fought a lot. Yeah, there were parts of it that were absolutely beautiful. I would not be who I am without her. Parker and I have never fought. It's like over 2 years we've never fought. She's never raised her voice at me. I've never really raised my voice at her. Like, and I've never met anyone as kind as her. So like, yeah, early in our relationship, I was like, kind of feel like you're fucking with me.
Right.
Like, I just couldn't take it seriously because I was like, there's no way that you actually love me this much.
Yeah.
Like, nobody loves me this much, you know? So it took a long time before I was like, oh, you really do. You're just you're just really about it, dude. You really just love me.
And the more you're around those people, the more you realize that, like, how deep individuals can love too. And that probably heightens your level of, and the depth of your ability to love too.
Yeah, and she had a hard life too, man. So that's a missing piece too. I've never had that with a partner. She gets it, you know.
Having those people that could relate to the hard times, like me and one of my most recent ex, which has been on and off for like 5 years, she's still one of my best friends, and it's just that, it's like knowing that you've been in the trenches together, or in different aspects too. Because sometimes that just, like you said, you feel like an island, like on top of everything else, like coming home and feeling alone too. That's just, you know, that's a whole
and for me,
beast.
I've just always, even in the industry, man, I've just always kind of felt like a pariah. Like, not many people in my scene are from the type of environments that I'm from. Like, a lot of them are from pretty affluent families, and their parents kind of help them get their thing off the ground. Or they're just not from an extremely violent place. And they sure as shit aren't, you know, my life is completely engulfed by combat sports when I'm not on tour.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that is not a normal thing for anyone in the music industry. So, like, they know that about me. I know that about me. So there's kind of this thing, like, at festivals. That's why I've always, like, been weird about hanging out with other musicians. I'm always like, it's going to be weird. It's always weird. You know, like, what are we going to talk about? You know, like, all I talk about is fighting. So, like, I don't know, you know. Like,
you guys like UFC?
Yeah. And, you know, getting out of that comfort zone has been huge. But she's just always, man, especially when she's rolling with me, dude, she's just she's fucking awesome, man.
And is she someone too that can just, like, get people to open up? Like, if she has conversation with them, that was something I've seen with those like healing women. Like, you're like, I was like, my dad never told me that story.
Yeah. And I think her way is funny too, because she's kind of like quiet at first, and then she's so sweet, and then once you get her going, yeah, you'll just start telling her shit.
Yeah,
because she's just super gentle and soft and kind,
and can listen, ask the right questions. Because that's how I learned. I was like, how'd you get my dad to do that?
Yeah.
She was like, oh, I just listen and ask questions. I'm like, do I not do that?
Yeah.
But it's for us, sometimes we're like, whoa.
Yeah, it's
we're
different.
We're gas pedal.
Too.
They're shifting slow.
That's right.
Depending on the women, some of them are crazy. There's also them too. But
yeah, no, she's the best.
No, I love being. Those are the type of individuals I like to bring into my life. You know, it sounds like you're that type. You know, where you can. And that's another thing too. Is like, most people, I don't know if they'll ever experience, like, knowing what it feels like to attract darkness, and then knowing what it feels like to emit light, and then attracting more light and more conscious individuals, things like that too. Because, like, I think it's a combination of the two. And then as you elevate and evolve as an individual, so does your energy and frequency.
Totally, and you get to integrate all the other shit.
Yeah, it's wild. Because then, you know, things start happening for you, and then you can continue. And it sounds like too, you can have the roller coaster ride if it feels like it's happening to me again, and I don't like it. Then you can go into the aspect of, like, maybe not feeling grateful for your life, or thinking, oh, why not somebody else, or then survivor's guilt and all that crazy stuff too.
Yeah, no, it goes back. It's a ping pong. I'm getting better at it though.
Yeah, it sounds like you're saying you are.
Dude, my fiance was like, this young fighter that I mentor, he's like, dude, how do you deal with, like, your sister passing and your childhood and all that? I was like, honestly, bro, the fuck I'm gonna do about it? And I was joking with my fiance that if I ever write a book, that's what I'm gonna call it. The fuck I'm gonna do about it?
The fuck? Like,
The fuck I'm gonna do about it, bro?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, yes, there's a lot of healing and like intricacies in there, but also like I can't do anything about anything that's happened. All I can do is dictate what I'm gonna do moving forward.
Myself too. I've been around a lot of death, and I thought everybody did. And they're
Yeah.
like, dude, you have friends that overdose all the time. You have
Yeah.
people like every year. It's like 4 or 5 people. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's normal, right? They're like, no.
Yeah, I was joking about that. I had a rough year where I lost like 3 friends in 1 year.
Me too. Actually, 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I went and
Boxing.
Um,
We're talking about fighting too much. I'm
Yeah.
throwing uppercuts on the mic right now.
But I had visited my grandpa before he passed. And he's like, yeah, I'm just at that age. All my friends are dying. I was like, yeah, me too. He's like, what? I was like, nothing.
Yeah.
Never
Oh,
mind.
no. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, because, and then with the parents and stuff too, that's like where these actors and actresses are getting into their 70s and so
Yeah.
on. And I'm like, these are on my mom's age.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a wild thing.
yeah. I guess you expect a little more later on, but for us at our age, it's crazy.
Not normal.
No, and it was like two of my best friends in 1 year, and the other one ended up getting in a motorcycle accident. He joined he joined the biker gang out here, just went sideways from there, and next thing I know, he doesn't know. He doesn't remember his wife. He doesn't remember a lot of us, and I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
that's wild. Moved to a different state, and I'm like, well, I guess
Hopefully
he's
it
there,
starts
but
in
I
your
lost
life.
my friend, like my
Yeah,
version of the
wild.
friendship, you know.
Was he joining like the Sons of Silence or something like that?
No, he joined a little bit. Like he started with like a military because he's a veteran,
Yeah.
and then he went on to joining the Mongols.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then became like an
a rough
enforcer. And,
club.
like that whole
Yeah.
upbringing. I was trying to warn him. I was like, through what my brother and everybody else did, I'm like, dude, it's only gonna go one direction, you know.
Yeah.
Although some of the guys were all right, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was just like,
And that's not the
No.
direction, bro.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
He had a good life and stuff too, which is wild. But that's just it. Like he didn't have that chaos early on, and it developed in high school and so on. But like I feel like some of us, although it feels like a double-edged sword and it cut deep, like
Yeah, I got mine out of the way. I
yeah,
want peace now.
you get it at early in, and then you know what it feels like to, you know, and then you can handle walking down this inner cities of big cities and
For sure.
understand what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But it's just wild, this culture. I was just on my podcast a few weeks back. It's like you get it, like the alpha shirts and stuff like that. And I'm like, I mean, I get I'm wearing girl pants right now, but it's just that weird, like overly, whatever that is, like that. I'm like, man, that's such a weird thing.
Yeah.
So that's where I count it as a blessing to know what it feels like to get like, I'm like, no, I'm not great. I get my shit pushed in. Like,
Yeah.
and that's why I can do anything. It's
Yeah.
not the best in any room.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like actually being able to, and I'm sure that translates back to music and other things too. Cause like,
Well, they're
you-
all
you have to-
bottomless. That to me, that's the correlation between fighting and music. You don't get to the end of music and be like, I did it. I got it all. I understand all of it. I've perfected it. You know, same thing with jiu-jitsu. It's like I know all of the jiu-jitsu. It's like no, you don't.
skateboarding, all of it, right?
Skateboarding,
Yeah,
yeah.
art, all of it.
Yeah, art. There's no end to it.
No.
It's just like there's just more layers and layers and layers.
And it being that artist, there's just more technique, more fluidity, like, and being able to develop. And then you get into old man jiu-jitsu, things like
Yep.
that too. I guess I don't really know if there's an old man striking. Is there? I guess just
No, we just
you
still
hold
send it.
pads, you hold the mitts.
Well, I coach most of the time, but yeah, no, dude, I fucking love sparring.
That's the thing is I love it, and that's the problem. That's
Yeah.
why I don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's because, you know, it's like I always joke around. I was like, no, I don't want to get into an actual fight in the streets, but
Yeah.
like
It's a fun
sparring
game.
and stuff gets my dick hard.
Yeah,
like,
it's a
I get
fun
a quarter
game.
chub, and
Yeah.
I'm going in,
Yeah.
and then that 5 minutes doesn't feel like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then for me, it's just man, the recovery now. Even like if on a Saturday, I'm like, fuck it, I'm putting my shit on,
Yeah.
and then I'm miserable until Wednesday.
And all this stuff coming about CTE and stuff. You get clocked one good time, you don't sleep well. Next thing you know, you're depressed 2 days later.
Yeah,
like
no,
watching
we've
the
been-
CTE documentary is just like a horror movie to me. I have to turn that off. I'm like,
Yeah, no, me and my girl have been talking about that a lot. Because my son pointed, I have a tremor in my right hand from a neck injury. And Malachi, my son, points out all the time how forgetful I am. And I was like, you believe this? She's like, babe, nah, yeah, you are.
You got that earlier.
Yeah.
You literally just told me your last name, and I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask again, type of deal. And
It's
he was
all right.
telling
It's a
me
fair
in the,
trade, dude.
it's like it's so silly. But even then, like I joke around. I spelled my name on a name tag the other day, and I forgot the I.
Nice.
I'm like, you've been doing this for a long time,
Yeah.
bud. It's that one kick you've been practicing 10,000 times.
Yep.
And now you forgot letters. Like,
Yep.
but it's scary. It could be. It's real.
Yeah,
like,
no, it is. It is for sure.
And I had epilepsy from getting a brain bruise when I was in like second grade, and then I still tried to fight and train and stuff. Like went away, but like
YOLO, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's fun too to like also gauge back a little bit, like maybe put it in.
Yeah,
put
I
it
love
in a lower
coaching.
gear.
Coaching has been like become such a spiritual thing for me. It's
But also having the awareness, I can't spar today. I
Yeah.
don't need to. I want to, but even last night at the Kenny Florian seminar, it was there were some like 21-year-old, like 6'4" Division I wrestlers, and I'm like, no, you have no reason to go over there. Luckily, they all went to one side, and I'm like, no, just roll with these guys that are 40 or 50.
Yep.
It is 8 p.m. Justin.
Yep.
Like you don't roll at nighttime. Like
Yeah.
I was looking, I was like, I think I could. No, you don't think you could do anything.
Yeah, just chill.
No, there's no reason. Your neck's jacked up. They're
Yep.
gonna head snap you. And
Yep.
You're gonna wake up. I'm gonna have a tremor tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
bulging disc and a displaced vertebrae. I don't need that.
Yeah.
But sorry, I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. Are there any venues that you actually want, like you're looking forward to, like playing other than the one that you're talking about selling out? Like
Red Rocks. I haven't been to Red Rocks since 2021, so I'm really excited to be back at Red Rocks. It's like the coolest venue ever.
any venues in Europe you're looking forward to?
I've never been to Europe.
Oh, I was gonna say I was curious on the correlation. You'll have to.
Yeah, I've never been.
I'd love to hear what you think about like the different the different cultures and
Yeah,
the
I'm
way
excited.
they appreciate music.
I'm super excited. Yeah, it came together really, really well. The agent that we found just killed it. Yeah, I'm super, super excited to go over there.
When you tour too, are you able to like get out at all and see, or is it kind of? I'm sure at the beginning it's like one night.
Yeah, I mean, we never stay in a place for more than a day, but I usually get a couple hours to go wander around.
Yeah, so I mean that's you're there for business, right?
Yeah, and then so usually we play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I have Monday, Tuesdays off. So like I'll have to look at the Europe. I'm a big World War II geek and just a history geek in general. So I'm excited to kind of poke around and see where we have days off, because there's definitely a bunch of stuff I want to do over there.
Oh, I bet. And then you get to, but also it's so wild too, because like the more and more I look into the deeper of this history, and the more that comes out now, it's getting uncovered. It's like, what it was our actual history? Because now I'm like, I'm starting to think that a lot of it is like, oh, apparently it's American one-sided. But like the deeper and deeper you get into things, the more you realize that it's like, oh man, there's multiple sides to all these stories. Same with like religion and everything else.
For sure. Yeah, I'm excited too. I get to go. I haven't been to Europe at all, but I'm playing a festival in the UK in May. And then, my family's from Ireland, from South Ireland. I've never been, so I get to go there. I'm going to hang for a couple days. I play that festival, and then I play Glasgow, however you say it, in Scotland, and then I'll go play Dublin. So I'm going to hang out in Ireland for a couple days after that.
Eastern European, just the glory all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, the European tour goes, the one in September, everywhere.
Everywhere?
Everywhere. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm
to
excited.
be able to check that. I mean, apparently you're going to have to, it's going to be a lot of work.
It's going to be busy, but
yeah,
it'll still be cool, man. Just different places, different food, different languages. Like, yeah, that stuff's just cool.
You going to pick up any of the Paperboy hats?
For sure.
I almost wore one here. My buddy picked one up from Scotland for me. And that one, dude, they're comfortable.
Yeah.
I like that. You have a good head shape for them,
there.
too.
Yeah, I do, especially being bald now. Yeah, no, I'm pumped about, the whole year is going to be really cool. It's going to be busy, but it'll be good. I don't have to go to Australia. I've been going to Australia the past couple of years. I don't have to do that this year, which that's a tough tour.
Time zones, all that stuff too, I'm sure, on top of things. Like, it's hard to navigate those waters.
Yeah, in Australia, you have to fly everywhere because the country is the same size as ours. And all of the cities are, like 10-hour drives from each other.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Every morning you have to be at the airport by 6 or 7 a.m.
Ugh.
Yeah,
and then on top of that and everything that has to do with airplanes and all that stuff,
it's hard.
Just wears you out.
Yeah, it's hard. But no, Europe is going to be easy. I think we'll be able to rent one van and do the whole thing just in a van. Yeah.
If you could play any venue ever, like, where would it be? And
Hollywood Bowl.
Hollywood Bowl. I love that venue too. Last time I was there, I seen Black Sabbath.
I've only been there once. I saw Anderson .Paak.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's a statement, dude, to sell that thing out.
Oh yeah. 100%.
That's a life altering. Red Rocks is cool, but dude, yeah, Hollywood Bowl, holy shit. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, dude, that's a big area. I love those. The way those stacked stadiums sit too, with the natural lighting and the stars, and those ones are huge.
We had a blast.
Yeah, I guess for me, I don't think I've ever been to another venue that's like, I've been to both of those, but I was like, I don't know if I've been to very many outdoor venues like that. I guess Utah has some too.
The Gorge.
Yeah.
Gorge is cool.
Yeah.
But
who are the top people that you've played with, or you've been toured with, or that you've been been in contact with from a musical standpoint?
Fronty, for sure. Trevor is super successful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, lucky to call him a friend. Yeah, he actually just listened to my new record for me.
Oh, really?
That's
awesome. He seems like I know a couple people that have met him.
He's exactly how you think he'd be. He's a very sweet man. Yeah.
That's great. That's good people to have around.
Yeah, not a lot, bro. I've been kind of rogue since the Fronty days.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been doing this shit myself.
That's great.
Building it.
Yeah, why not? Seems like that's a good thing. And
yeah, hopefully 2027. That's the plan for 2027 is to go tour with other bands more. So hopefully we'll do that.
Yeah, more tours.
Yeah.
And then do you have any other hobbies that you're picking up along the way other than jiu-jitsu and striking?
No, man. I'm so busy coaching. Just coaching and being a dad. That eats up pretty much all of my time. And my son does Muay Thai too. So
yeah. How old's your son now?
He'll turn 8 in April.
Oh, that's a fun age.
Yeah,
it's fun to see more like the kids getting more mainstream. Like kids jiu-jitsu is cute as hell. Some of them are ridiculous.
Yeah, if you add me on Instagram, bro, and I'll send you some footage of my son hitting pads, dude. He cracks.
Whap, whap, whap.
Yeah, he's a thug.
Yeah, well, I mean, he has you as a dad, so it's like, did you want to do this?
And that's the only way that he gets screen time with me too. So
yeah,
if he trains, then when I'm doing my other private on Saturday, he can like play on the tablet while I'm doing my other private.
Oh, that's
great. If he doesn't train, he's just got to sit there.
That's a great trade. And then I'm hoping too, with the bell curve for the way kids are being raised nowadays, the electric bikes, things like that, kids are getting back outside again and becoming dangerous.
Yeah.
So that's something I heard. Oh, man, I forget where I hear it, but this is something you probably resonate with. It's like the in and outside dog. It's the idea that like you have to have a good relationship with danger. Mm-hmm. Whether it's like a toxic relationship or a healthy relationship, that's something we have to develop. But for a lot of blue-collared individuals, they have to rely on Adderall, different things, because they don't have a sense of danger and they live a blue-collared life or a white-collared life. So somewhere in the atmosphere that we grew up in or blue-collared, there has to be a better relationship with that danger. And I feel like it sounds like you're giving your son the opportunity.
Yeah, with my son, we just play, bro. We're outside.
No, but that's what I mean. It is. It's like that.
And so many of his friends just play video games and are inside all of the time, bro. We're just always fucking around, bro.
Man.
We're just always playing. And he has the most, like, the neighborhood we live in. So I live here. His school is here. His mom lives a block over. So it's like all of his homies are in that neighborhood. He has a straight up 90s American childhood. Like all of his friends are in that area.
Yeah,
they all ride bikes together.
That's what I was saying. I was like, we need to go get milk crates. Where can we get milk crates to set up some wood and have them jump
little
over?
Jumps and shit.
Yeah, dude, doing wheelies. Seeing these kids doing wheelies down the street, and like that was something my dad told me when I was younger. Is you're one of the last generations of metal jungle gyms.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to see more metal jungle gyms pop back up.
Yeah, bro, they get after it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get after it.
Yeah, I'm so excited, and the same thing. Like, so I'll be 37, but I want to have kids soon, at least one or two.
Yeah.
Well, because my mom had me at 42, and I'm okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I think so. As far as I know.
You seem cool.
Yeah, depends on the day, right? But I'm healthy. Let's do it. Why not? But I don't know if you grew up always wanting kids, but it was a fear for me. Like, cause I
always
realized
knew I was going to be a dad.
Yeah. I realize that now for myself, but yeah, it's like, it's good to see, because if you said that, how many kids do you have total?
So I have 2 older ones that I raised that I didn't make, but they were, or 3 older ones, but they were very, very young when I got with their mom. And their dad dipped right away.
Oh, wow.
So 19, 21, and 24, and then Malachi's almost 8.
So you got your reps in.
Yep.
And then.
Yeah, my daughter's coming on tour with me next month, or in April. And I was just joking with her. We were hanging out in Bozeman. I was like, I'm sorry. Like, Malachi's got it so much better than you guys. Like, you guys were the trial runs.
Right.
You know, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was
They
just
come
kinda
over, they're
figuring
like,
it out.
you get the what?
Yeah. And he's just, dude, he just, you know, he's never in trouble. I learned how to parent by parenting those other kids, you know, what works, what doesn't. And no, so it's just a whole different.
And especially if they turn into a version of you, you know, like their own little version. So like it's, you just bro out.
It's cool.
a
They
lot
have
of the
like
times.
my older son Colden, me and him, he's meeting me in Charlotte. We're going to hang out in Charlotte for a couple days. In a couple weeks, but yeah, he's got certain aspects of my personality. He's a hustler, loves to grind, loves working hard. And then Chloe is, you know, super artsy, loves music, loves to travel. Like they both got different pieces of me, you know, and I'm excited to see who Malachi turns into. He's hilarious.
And I love that you say turns into, because you probably give them the chance to become their own human. Because you're a pro at something, you know, multiple things. So that, I think you're not trying to like what is that called? The recliner
Helicopter
quarterback.
parent?
Yeah, helicopter parent. Dude.
Yeah, no, bro.
Yeah. Sunday morning quarterback.
I'm a
chair.
bowling bumper. I just, you know, I don't know how many pins they're gonna knock over.
Yeah, you got to make sure he only eats one handful of dirt.
Yeah, just keep him out of the gutter, man.
Yeah,
that's it.
And then the least you have somebody there like yourself that has that life experience, then it sounds like you'd probably be honest with them.
Yeah,
hey, this is what happened. I don't want to
Very.
go down that road.
Yeah, what's funny, man, none of my kids, my son's 22. He's never smoked weed.
That's wild.
Yeah, he said he's only been like drunk once.
Yeah, and probably didn't like it.
Yeah, it
no,
wasn't
it's
for
not
him.
worth it.
He just didn't feel. He saw some of his friends get super hammered, and was like, dude, anything could have happened to them. And I think that thing kind of popped in his head. I don't want to be I don't want my hands off my own steering wheel.
Yeah, he's seen the difference between feeling invincible.
Yeah.
Like when you start drinking too early and you don't have that insight. Yeah. It's a completely different thing.
Such a smart kid, dude.
No, that's
I'm
great.
Spoiled. I'm so lucky.
No, it sounds like it. It sounds like you've built a spectacular life for yourself.
Yeah, their mom did a lot of that work too.
Yeah.
Team effort.
And then so so your tour, you fly back to Charlotte. You said is it your later this year a little bit? So this is the media tour?
Yeah, this will be quick. And then next month I'll go play 3 shows in North Carolina and then a festival in Florida. And then April is when the tour starts. From April on, it's just going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So you just like getting ready to get in the belly of the beast. Make sure you bring your Tums.
Yeah. Yeah. Just trying to get mentally prepared for another tour cycle, because I've had a few months off. So it always takes a minute to mentally
prepare, get a couple extra rounds in there.
Yeah, man.
Looking forward to hitting a couple gyms, and then probably hitting some in Europe if you can.
Yeah, and then I'll have a few days off in Southern California, which that's where my fight family, my home away from home is.
Oh my gosh,
at Triumfo with
they're
Felipe and classic
blue belts
fight
that
team.
are black belts.
Yeah,
those are some
but
high
those
level
are my,
competition.
classic fight teams there.
Yeah.
Triumfo, like those are our 2 affiliations. So I'm like, it's my second home. Yeah.
Good to see how everybody trains, all the new
dude.
people. Yeah,
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep.
That's fun. It's like a family reunion, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. So, what's the name of this tour that you have coming up?
Story of You 10-year anniversary
The
tour.
Story of 10 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then, so probably going to bring it to an end here.
Yeah.
And then usually what I'll say is I look into this camera here and then give 3 pieces of advice, whether it's like skill sets or maybe like life advice, just 3 things that come to your mind for the guest that you think will help the listeners.
All right. Oh, man. Number 1, stay grateful. Number 2, lift heavy shit every day. Number 3, be a faucet, not a drain.
I love that. So in closing, once again, thanks for listening. Thanks for all the subscribes. Thanks for the shares. And just remember, stay hydrated emotionally and physically. You got to do the internal reps to match the external reps. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for listening.